She said it with a smile that cut deeper than any insult could. "You're a good man," she told me, her hand resting on his arm. "Just not ambitious." Her boss laughed. She laughed. Too, I didn't. The gala lights shimmered across the champagne glasses, like tiny spotlights mocking me. I caught the reflection of her hand, still resting on him, as if she'd forgotten it was mine she once held when we were broke, dreaming together. So, I left. No scene, no argument, just a quiet exit through the side door, into the rain. Outside, an old man sat by the curb, soaked to the bone. His hands trembled around a half-broken umbrella. I handed him mine. He looked up, eyes sharp beneath the drizzle. "Kindness," he said, "always finds its way back." I didn't reply. At the time, I thought I'd just done something decent. Turned out, it was a down payment. We'd built 10 years together. Brick by brick, dream by dream, or so I thought. She used to love my steadiness, my patience, the same things she now called weakness. When her company promoted her to executive assistant, her vocabulary changed, words like growth, status, influence, things that had never lived in our house before. Then came him, her boss. Daniel Mercer, a man with everything she thought she deserved. Charm, power. A car that cost more than my first home. I noticed. The small shifts first, the phone always face down, the late-night strategy calls, the scent she carried home, cologne that wasn't mine, I didn't confront her. Observed, that's what people like me do, we watch, we wait. The night I knew for sure, she came home with a red wine stain on her dress. "Work dinner," she said. Funny, the restaurant receipt I found later in her purse was for 2 glasses of rosé. He doesn't drink red. I know, because I looked him up. That was the night pain became purpose. Revenge, I learned, is an art, not an explosion, a sculpture carved slowly. Precisely. I started by taking an interest in her boss, Daniel Mercer, CEO of a mid-sized tech firm built on reputation and investor confidence. Married, 2 kids, clean public image. I began collecting things, tiny, fragments of his private self, a whisper from accounting, about falsified expense, reports, a whisper from HR, about inappropriate dinners, small things, unproven things, but arranged properly. They told a story, a very convincing one. Meanwhile, I played my part, the loyal husband, still made her coffee, still drove her to work every Monday, still smiled when she posted the work family pictures on Instagram. With him in the background, but every smile was a blueprint. I needed an inside man, or rather, an old man, the same one I'd given my umbrella to. I ran into him again outside my office a few weeks later. He wasn't just an old man. He was a retired investigator, living on a small pension, offering discreet services to those who knew how to ask. He still had my umbrella. "Told you kindness comes back," he said, and it did. This time wearing a suit and carrying a camera. Over 2 months, we gathered proof, not the kind that screams in tabloids, the kind that whispers in boardrooms, photos, messages, transaction, logs, evidence that could ruin a man who lived on. Reputation. Then I found the perfect stage, the company's annual review board, where Daniel Mercer would present to his investors. But first, a test run. That Monday morning, as usual, I drove her to work. Rain again. Poetic. She fixed her lipstick in the mirror, humming softly. No guilt. No hesitation. Just habit. In the lobby, she spotted someone sitting near the entrance. The old man. Dry now. Dressed sharply. Reading a folder. She didn't recognize him, but he looked up at me and nodded. That's when her face went pale. Instinct, maybe. Some part of her sensed what was coming. "Who was that?" she asked, trying to sound casual. "Just an old friend," I said. "You'll see him again." The board meeting was on a Friday. By then, everything was ready. The old man delivered an anonymous packet to the firm's compliance office, detailing Mercer's misconduct, financial manipulation, falsified bonuses, and a personal relationship with a subordinate, my wife. I knew corporate vultures. They don't confront quietly, they devour. That evening, Mercer called an emergency staff meeting. My wife walked in confident, expecting praise for her dedication. She came out 20 minutes later, eyes hollow, hands trembling, phone buzzing with missed calls. He'd thrown her under the bus to save himself. Denied everything. Called her. Unstable. Infatuated, said. She forged receipts and manipulated him for promotion. I watched her from across the parking lot. She looked small, drenched in rain. The same way the old man had been. When she finally saw me, she didn't speak, just stared, realizing I knew. I opened the car door, said nothing, drove her home. The silence between us wasn't empty. It was judgment. 2 weeks later, Mercer resigned under personal reasons. His wife filed for divorce. His company's stock dipped. As for her, she lost her job. Her reputation shattered. Friends evaporated. The life she reached for crumbled in her hands. She asked me why I wasn't angry. I told her anger is temporary. Strategy isn't. Sometimes late at night, she still apologizes, says she was lost, pressured, confused. I listen. I nod. She doesn't realize the house isn't hers anymore. The mortgage, the car, the savings account, all transferred weeks before the gala, quietly, legally, all in my name. When she finally leaves, and she will, it'll be with nothing. Nothing but the memory of a man who was too good and not ambitious enough. But I was ambitious. Just not the way she understood. Last night, I saw the old man again, outside the same gala, same rain. He smiled. All debts settled, he said. Almost, I replied. He chuckled, handed me back the umbrella I'd once given him. You'll need it, he said. Storm's coming. Maybe he was right, but this time, I wasn't the one without cover.